are the purest.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Aurora Overwatch Clash here, Season 10, Week 7 here, Group 2 with the Roman Raccoon Dogs versus the Venus Voidlings, as we're going to be going into the first map that we have seen this season of the newly reworked Antarctic Peninsula. Bans are coming out. It is going to be Cassidy from the Voidlings, and then it's also going to be Diva from the Raccoon Dogs. But we'll be seeing how this new map is going to be played after the rework. What are your thoughts on this, Booney?
It's a completely different map now. We saw all the changes coming through. I know that Real Dog was really excited for this all week. He wanted to scrim this map yesterday in the Raccoon Dog scrim specifically for this reason. That it is a very unknown quantity right now. But the map, this point actually now of, this is not sub-level. This is whatever the one this one is. Not too big a change actually compared to what it was previously, but the inside one definitely is the big one. That sub-level with that freezing area at the top. But I'm interested to see that Real Dog is still opting to play the Wrecking Ball on this map. A little more close-quartered, a little more difficult to kind of get a straight line swing through. But if it's going to make it work, it's probably going to be Real Dog. But it appears the Voidlings have a bit of a counter strategy here ready to go. With Diva being banned, Carson will opt to go over onto Zarissa. Okay, I guess I didn't see this. The bridge between the two spawn points and the Koth point itself is gone. So way more indoors looking here on the left side.
Yeah, fights I'm assuming are going to be more postured towards the left or the main angle here instead of the right, as once you drop on right, you are not able to go back up very easily. You're going to be stuck in cover and going to be spammed out by this fire, which Dong Waggler and Roto Dog are going to be able to get the zone, and they're going to be able to hopefully get the first cap here. I don't know who the Reaper is, I don't entirely remember, but they are going to be able to first pick here onto Void Fiber, which is going to be the opening fight. Carson is going to be able to touch this point though, as Roto Dog is on it. We're looking for more far pressure here by Dong Waggler. You're seeing the May get stunned, and that's going to be 2 picks here, as now you're seeing the Voidlings walk home after losing the first fight.
And we are seeing the Roman Raccoon Dogs taking full advantage of every single buff in this patch, supposedly. It looks like it, with Silver Tiles over on that Ana, Altair having the dire triggers on cooldown on the regular base kit, as well as Silver Tiles with the 12 nade, Dong Waggler with those new perks on far, making it look very strong. And we see Raz is going to opt in actually off the bat. He's going to match the Ana here. That 12-second cooldown is very valuable here in these competitions, especially if they can get in on Real Dog, force positioning away. Could look to follow up on it a lot sooner, but Voidfire going on first was tough for him here. Going to this next point, Real Dog is all set ready for a big slam on the engage.
Exactly, Brittle being able to go and getting both the supports here. Sleep Dart comes out, Razmataz is going to be able to get out with less than 25 HP. Sleep Dart does hit as the rotate's finally going through for Void Fiber. Nate comes in and hits Raz and Carson, though both 1 HP. We're going to have to use the May Wall here right forever kind. Void Fiber stuck in the backline is slept and is going to be cut by Silver Tiles with a good sleep. Dong Waggler and we have Riddle Dog being able to follow up on this Raz with a nice little slam here, as the final picks are just going to be coming through as staggers, as now we're going into 50% here with ults coming online.
50% and no ults used so far for Roman Raccoon Dog. Nothing really building on the other side either for the Voidlings. I mean, Void Fiber's had a really tough time here into the Silver Tiles Ana. Have they gotten set multiple times and nade up, not allowing the Venture to really find that progression and get the progress in. You would see Void Fiber using the Sentry to Maze Swap over on the Vendetta, but with those nerfs, the Vendetta a lot less viable here, especially into this kind of composition. So now we're seeing the back onto the Venture for Void Fiber, but they've already get caught out or forced to dig. It's going to be a tough engagement here now for Venus Voidling down that important cooldown.
Yes, exactly that. First ultimate coming online for the Venus Voidling is going to be the Sarah Surge, which is going to find the least amount of value. We're seeing the Barrage coming up from Dong Waggler, and actually you can see the damage nerf for the Barrage was going to be able to keep Carson alive, being able to get the care from the Razmataz. And now the real question is, how are you going to push into this? You're 90 to nano, you have beat now, you're close to Venture. You're going to be stuck with these mines. Void Fiber stuck in, and the backline is going to be able to drill out, is half HP though, and Carson's going to be able to open up with this touch. Looking for the first ultimate for the side of Venus Voidling. Silver Tall stuck on the coast. Parasurge coming out with the beat here from Taken Wallet is just going to be looking for cleanup. We're seeing Aniki being able to try to clutch this up, is going to be able to get Raz, but Foreverkind is going to, okay. Void Fiber popping the ult here just for the ball on the point after they get the cap. A little a little questionable, but I mean, hey, we'll take that as Dongwaggler is hopefully going to be able to get out as Carson's looking for a pick, and you'll take that trade with 3 to 2 ults.
I mean, yeah, but the technical shock there at the end, what are you really going to get out of that in this composition with the Pharah, with the with the Wrecking Ball? Not much to found there for Void Fiber, but now you hold on to Blizzard, hold on to Nano, and a huge investment, a really slow fight there from the Rome Raccoon Dogs. Not using that ult advantage with their big, to start things off. They use that barrage early, but after that, kind of sit around and wait. It allows V's Voidlings to get their ult online of their own. Oh, hold on, Sortels might bring it back on the big nade. Still doable here both sides.
Carson falling on half HP with same with Taken Wallet as they're all stuck stacking on a point. You have a Razzmatazz stuck by themselves here on this right side.
What a peel.
Looking lost with this new interior as Riddle Dog is going to be able to get the pick into here, and Taken Wallet's going to fall down rightly after there with Dongwaggler. Void Piper is going to be able to use straight up. Hopefully we do not die with this Blizzard Jack. Carson's going to trade this out. It is now a 3v3 here, but you don't have any supports for the side of the Voidlings. It's just going to be Foreverkind and Void Piper trying to do anything. Foreverkind falling asleep. It's just Void Piper left, but they still have the point. Looking on to Anarchy being able to use this Wraith. No more Wraith here. Venture looking in to go in, and is going to be cleaned up here by Anarchy. And we didn't use the Nano or the Blizz though, unfortunately.
That is Altair. That's actually their account. This is actually Altair. Altair finds Rabbit early, takes the Nano out of the equation, and kind of the same thing we saw with that point where they flipped it, actually. We saw the Beast Voidlings, in fact, taking a really slow approach. You had the Nano, you had the Blizzard. Why not go aggressive in the backline? They kind of sat there and wait for Rabbit to get dove on. The peel from Carson was good to keep her alive through the initial push, but after that, there were just not any follow-up with these ultimates. They had the Blizzard, had the Nano still, and just able to win that Raw Dog, and it is going to be the Rome Raccoon Dogs. And now we are at the big change of Antarctic Peninsula now. We are at sub-level, and this is a basically completely new sub-map here. This is, we really just see how the teams approach this. I think that Riddle Dog, we were seeing not quite like the full-on carry performance we've seen from Riddle so far on the season just because Antarctic Peninsula not the best. But now with a new look here, on Antarctic Peninsula, we could see the Wrecking Ball once again be annoying with that over the point progress still being there. And now, not as many interior positions to engage in from your brawl comp, allowing the ball to get a lot more value here for Riddle.
Exactly. So we're seeing the rotates coming in. Nate coming looking for that. You have Silvertals and you have Dongwaggler being able to kill Raz with a nice little 3-2-1, taking while they're falling down half HP. Void Piper is going to trade out there onto Alter, but Linkadink is going to be able to boop kill Void as Taken Wall is going to fall shortly after due to Dongwaggler. And it looks like this first fight is going into the way of the Roman Raccoon Dogs, with the point being captured right about now.
I mean, like I said before the fight really broke out there, that Real Dog has way more avenues to get in and out. We saw they're coming from underneath this time. You can't go into that room up on the top left now if you are the side of the Beast Voidling. So now you just walk into the clutches of that big slam from Real Dog, followed up with that nade from Silvertals. So a huge combination there on this new map, potentially not knowing all the ways to go in and out, going that default path. The Beast Voidling's caught lacking. And now in terms of the ultimates, not looking too good for either side right now. 50% for both Dong and Silvertals, but Silvertals on a nasty flank right now, by the way. Could be devastating.
Raz forcing this nade very early as they're stuck in, with Silvertals looking for this angle with the Riddle Dog. As the point is slowly going to be flipped for the side of the Voidlings. They're going to stop touching though, as the point's going to flip at 31%. Silvertals found 3? 3! Silvertals is just on a mission here with Linkadink, but unfortunately is going to be killed here by Carson. Is going to be able to anti onto the Orisa, the Carson. But if you just don't have a support, it's going to be hard to live. Carson opting for the shield perk, stalling up this point. Riddle getting frozen due to the blizzard of pop.
I just see the hamster slowly fall to point, completely frozen. Okay, we're still going here, though. The point did flip here for the Beast Voidlings, and now Void Fiber is getting chased up a Real Dog a little bit, but has a disengage here for Tool ready to go. Donwoy with the barrage is the only ult on for either side. Has to be huge here to bring it back.
Yeah, Void Fiber falling on 1 HP is going to be first picked here by Riddle Dog. Taking all falling on 1 HP is going to get killed by this Dongwaggler as the pressure is staying on top. But Carson's going to be able to stall up this point here with the shield. Raz being able to kill Altair, but he's going to get traded here by Linkading. It's just Carson against the world trying to stable. Riddle Dog is falling on 1 HP, is going to have Silvertals back on this support. Using the shield, just min-maxing every single percentage they can get into Dog and Riddle, and is going to fall, but at the cost of being at 53%.
Yeah, Carson was doing God's work there. I'm honestly shocked they didn't pop the Terror Surge to try to get a couple of percentage there, but we saw another victim to the cold front up top with Donwar getting frozen, but nobody's there to follow up on it. Now you're looking at the ults once again. You're going to have Casino Rush here for taking Wallet, which could be the go button for your Aristocrat to get in, but you're walking into a minefield, into a Nano. It's not looking too good here for the side of Beast Voidlings. They do force our Altair to use the Wraith very early here, so Voidfire might go hunting for this pick. We see him instantly, Voidfire's in the backline looking for the Reaper and forcing him away, forcing the space for Carson takes back.
Yeah, unfortunately, the nade from Silvertals was a little shallow. Wasn't able to hit the 4-man as it was looking. As Void Viper is getting this full wrap here on a Dogwaggler. Dogwaggler falling down to 1. Riddle slamming up top with Carson trying to stable. Is going to finally get the touch. Void Viper getting the first pick here onto Altair. Nano ball going in, and you're seeing your soldiers disappear. Mines coming out onto the point. Carson opting to use the ult, make sure they don't get booping clear this mines. You have Void Viper coming in into the backline with the ultimate, trying to look for a single pick as God's Dong gets speared into the wall as Silvertals is on the air. Void Viper falling on away, she's trying to lift. We're investing the bait here from Lincoln, 99% on the capture here. As Lincoln is falling down, it's still just Void Viper and Carson versus the world with Taken Wall is trying to live on the back end there. He's going to get the kill there, and the Reaper Blossom is not going to find anything as they get the flip at 91% though.
They get the flip, and they also get out Minefield, they get out Death Loss, and they get out Beat. A huge exchange here, You're going to have your own Coalescence as well as Forever Kinda having that Overclock online. That's basically last my territory for both these sides. So Forever Kinda can find a pick, or Raz can sustain Carson through the initial dive. This might be a 1-1 situation here in Antarctic Peninsula here early, and now we're seeing Real Dog having to get creative with a point no longer in his control. Reaper boop off the top here, but Fiverr and Silvertals early! That's a huge pick! But Colas is down! Real Dog responds!
For support to support, and we're seeing the character got booped off the map. Is going to be able to come back up top. But Dong is going to be able to trade this out. Carson front on low HP and no supports to see here, especially when you die with your Coalescence. Reverendkind with that other ultimate also falling down. Carson 1 HP, Void Fiber 1 HP. Point is not flipped though, and there will be time for a recontest here with a Coalescence. Void actually going into opting, making sure they don't lose this flip. I'm going to see Razmataz shortly with his Coalescence after they use the fade. Is going to be able to stable Void Fiber with the OC as well. Point is still in favor. We're seeing Carson coming back onto this dude. We need to kill this barrage though up on the skies, and that barrage gets 1. Dongwaggler 1 HP is going to trade it out by Razmataz though, as Carson's going to be able to kill Anna or Silvertals. And Point looks like it's going in the way of the Venus Voidlings here. Mines coming out onto the point here as a last stand. We're seeing the Venture ult though is going to be able to clear these mines. Real Dog falling down to half HP. Linkedin 1 HP on the coast is going to fall down to the Tectonic Shock here, as Riddle Dog is not going to be able to touch. And now we're going to a sub-map number 3 here on the newly reworked Antarctic Peninsula.
Yeah, we're getting the full experience of New Antarctic Peninsula. We're seeing all 3 points there, and we saw the Blizzard finding a lot of targets there, especially on the Rome Raccoon dogs. A lot of them getting frozen, so potentially a frostbite differential there for the side of the Venus Voidlings. But right now, we're seeing the new Antarctic Peninsula point here with this new open area towards the back end of the point, or I should say off to the right side of the point, depending on the sponsor coming through. This is a very new look for this point in particular as well. So, we saw Submarine, not too big a difference, but Sub-level and Laboratory, I'm not sure, but a lot of change coming through. Forever Kindle will swap over on the Pharah here this time, playing Mystery Heroes with Sojourn, with May, now going Pharah. Razotaz with the swap over onto the Moira was way more survivable of Real Dog's dies, and we saw that once Riddle couldn't, get a pick off on a support here for free every fight, it came a lot better for Venus Voidlings. I like that swap on the Moira, way more survivable, and she got some kills as well. So big change here for him here.
So the only issue here is now you don't have a single hit scan for this Dongwaggler, so you're not fighting to kill the Dongwaggler, you're fighting to kill everybody else. Dongwaggler will be dying shortly after for the side of the Voidlings, as Real Dog going in already uses his adaptive shields. Void Fiber digging in as the point pressure is slowly looking in favor of the Venus Voidlings. Void Fiber going up top. Carson with no shield though, stuck on point, half HP. Riddle Dog going in, looking for a slam, trying to find this pick. Carson is going to be able to get the shield out onto the backline, is going to be stable. We're at 90% here for the cap. 99, I would say. Carson, 1 HP, does get booped in by Riddle Dog, is trying to live, is going to be able to get the care by Razmataz, as they are going to be able to get the flip. Carson still 1 HP, going to be able to find his first pick here onto Linkadink, as Riddle is trying to get trades, but Carson gets the second one. Both supports down for the side of the Roman Raccoon dogs. Carson gets 3, looking for 4.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Looking for 4, looking for 4. And that's going to be the fire.
Is going to get out, but yeah, Carson will survive through that with the healing of Taken Wall, and Razmataz on the point, survived that Real Dog engagement, and now they're Rissa just immovable on this point. Going to have the Terracers nearly online. Real Dog maybe get the minefield to respawn, but Carson falling very low. Early Susie is 4th, and a big anti to follow it up. Hold on, Roman Raccoon Dogs might be bringing us back.
Exactly. Unfortunately, the follow-up for the Roman Raccoon dogs were a little late here for Riddle Dog Sempo, as we're looking to spin to win onto the point. Void Fiber coming back, and all of our angles are playing on this inwards portion of the map. Dongwaggler in this air is just going to be so oppressive, especially when people aren't able to shoot them up. Carson taking spike. Riddle Dog in with the mines, fast mines. Luxing is not able to pile off anybody, but the whole point is being able to block and Taken Wall is going to fall 98% to their ultimate. Riddle Dog going to look and clean up on a second one onto Carson, but Void Fiber is going to be able to trade out Silvertals before falling down to Dong.
And Real Dog just popping in the minefield, not letting him to find that point on position, doesn't allow Carson to just sit on point, sit there big behind. in the middle of that circle and use their own circle spin to win. And now the elements for both these teams are going to have basically 4 online for the Raccoon Dogs, nearly 3 online for the Beans Voidlings. They're going to have the close, they're going to have the Casino Rush, a huge advantage here for the support fights. If they take this quickly, they're sure to beat Linkadink to that beat, but just the delay from Real Dog might be enough to bring Linkadink up to that to the beat, and they don't even need it. Forever Kid down.
Carson also hitting the spear on a Dong Waggler while barraging with the was very impressive. But yeah, I mean, Foreverkind already down, is going to be late to this barrage at 70% compared to Dong already ulting. We just need to see if the support opens up. And Takeawall's actually going to be able to get the first 15% on the point. With Altair, we're seeing this Coalescence being invested, trying to stable Void Fiber on this angle. Is going to be able to get the kill on the Dong Waggler, the person who's going to be hardest to kill. Looking at Aniki with his Reaper Blossom is going to drop to point to not opt to use it as point is slowly starting to flip. Riddle Dog spawn camping Foreverkind as Carson's going to be able to trade onto Aniki as Riddle Dog is just trying to stall the point, trying to get every single percentage at 60%, 61, and is going to flip at 62.
Yeah, Altair just couldn't find the angle to get that kill with that Death Blossom. Was looking at the Coalescence, kind of eyeing that support line the entire time, but seeing how Taken was holding on that Suzu like it was made of diamonds, was not allowing that Death Blossom to find the bad they need. But you're walking into 4 ultimates for both these teams here. Taken well though with probably the best one on the field with this Casino Rush. Carson can sustain with the help of the artillery, or with the help of the Terra Surge. But a lot of ults being pressed here early. Domlar goes in with Nano, and Void Fire finds Silver Tile, but not for the damage already done. 2 taken down for the Voidlings. Very back and forth fair right now, but the ults are still on both sides. Taking well, heads falling though with the Casino Rush. But Void Fiber trying to do the anti-air artillery is going to lose this one out. Never mind, hold on.
We're seeing the Blossom come in. Though trying to get this trade. Carson being able to try to stable is going to fall down 96%. So you have Taken while back on the point. Are we going to invest the Consider? Or are we just going to wait? Looks like we're going to wait it out. But it's going to be hard to play this into mines as we're looking Real Dog going in looking for these staggers. Caesar coming out from Taken while that nobody's going to be able to hit. As Real Dog is already using his adaptive shields. Question is, how are they going to walk into this next barrage here in this next mines? We'll have to see.
This might be sync theory. Which sync finds the better ultimate here? Forever Kinda with the barrage versus Linkadink with the beat. Who can find more value in his final fight and take on the first map of this series? Extremely close back for the fair here on this point in particular. But now just looking for that position here. Linkadink opens up with Takeawall with the Cruisers on point. But now Carson with his pull. Oh, Forever Kinda down.
Falling on 1 HP, Razmataz is going to try to stable this out though, as Raz is going to get 1. We're looking at a 4v3 here for the side of the...
It's doable.
It's a 3v3 here for both teams. Point is
very doable!
It's a 3v2 now for the Voidlings. With
Raz!
2v2, it's just Riddle Ball left versus Carson. Taken Wallet, and Razmataz, Adaptive Shield is gone. Foreverkind is back with his barrage here, looking for a pick. Zoning the point here, Linkadink onto the point is going to get killed. It's just going to be Riddle Dog here versus the world trying to stall out. You're going to have
she's chasing!
come back on the chaser.
She's a freak!
Riddle Dog is chasing the Moira, going to be able to get this touch. As Foreverkind is going to be down, we're having Dong Waggler come back to point. Carson 1 HP, Riddle Dog still 1, trying to get this pick. Carson has to get this pick if anything. Dude, Riddle Dog versus the world!
Oh my.
Riddle Dog versus the world is going to be able to clutch out the first map here of Antarctic Peninsula.
Extremely close affair. I think if you looked at, say, like a power rankings for many people, this would not have been this close. Genghis 9-9 on 2 points there. First point, pretty staggering for the side of the Raccoon Dogs, but then it looked like it was a done deal for the Beans Voidlings after Rabbitaz comes in and finds like 5 with the Coalescence, but they just could not take care of Real Dog on the point. It allowed Altair and Sortel to return on that Curie, on that Tracer, and nobody is going to upvote the Raccoon Dogs, I guess.
I'm voting the Coalescence right now, actually.
19 final blows for Dong Waggler there, too. An insane start to this series. Very back and forth. I don't think people had this series being this close so far.
Sure, I completely agree with you, but I think we're going to go to a short break here, folks, as you stay tuned to look for this very competitive map here in next match. Hello everybody, welcome back to Aurora Overwatch Clash here, Season 10, Week 7 with the Roman Raccoon Dogs versus the Venus Voidlings. As we just saw a very close map 3 or sub-map 3 win here, 2-1 on Antarctic Peninsula, the new reworked map here for the Roman Raccoon Dogs. As now we will be going to Rialto by the pick of the Venus Voidlings. Bans coming out of being Sig by the Roman Raccoon Dogs and then Ana by the Voidlings. I think both bands are very logical here, as we'll probably see the Diva versus Ball matchup. But what are your thoughts going on in this, Venus?
I think that it's a very good decision to go to Rialto here, especially if you're planning to play Taken Wall on DPS. This is the map to do it. Taken Wall is an extremely skilled hit scan player. Altair will be able to match it on this Emery, but I haven't really seen Altair play much hard Widowmaker. Maybe he's got it up in the hero pool. We just haven't seen it yet. Sotas will go here on the Ilyari, knowing that Ana is banned. So just able to keep that damage pressure up here, pairing up with Linkadink on this Juno. And we got the bucket back with the Fervikin to Brig. I don't know if I've seen this exact support line, but it should be interesting. But with Carson back on the Signature Diva, should be a lot harder for Real Dog to find that value on the Wrecking Ball now.
Yeah, exactly. Noticing that neither team is playing Kiriko on a map that's very long range. You don't have any supports that can heal from a long distance, especially to help a Diva or a Ball.
What are you doing up here? Slamming him.
But we're seeing Riddlebog being able to go onto this point, Bucket falling down half HP, just being able to stun this out. Tracer, Dronify coming in looking for a one-clip Bucket, half HP again. Is Carson's just going to be able to control this high ground here?
And Carson controls the high ground. Now Real Dog has an in and out way here up on the coastline to get in and out. Silvertail is doing decent damage here over onto Bucket as well, forcing your Toddy field very early here. Recall does get forced out of Dronify, but that kill is going to be for Real Dog. Found Bucket down here in top field, but the peel is there from Forever Kindle. Hold on! The GOAT has arrived, and Void Fiber finds an early pick. Immaculate peel from the Brigitte.
Exactly. So as Cart slowly starts moving to this final of first point, Real Dog being able to boop in. Carson and Void Fiber being able to clean up here onto Altair and to Silvertals as well. That's your 2 higher SR players cut, as now we're going to be looking to try to fight for the first cap here with no ultimates online.
No ult online, and Altair swaps the Windmaker here for a last game test, but now Linkadink is flying very low here. Carson is on the hunt for Juno. It forced the LOS away. Now both supports are distracted, allowing Carson to go in on the Widowmaker. Altair 1 HP, Carson on the hunt. Riddle is on point, though contesting it for a decent long time. But numbers just not favoring the Roman Raccoon Dogs, as Carson continues to be a nuisance in the back line. Eventually the cat comes through. Carson doing the Lord's work at enemy spawn.
So 5 minutes going into the second point here. You're seeing Void Fiber stuck in a little deep, trying to live. Has no more cooldowns, is going to be able to get the care from the BAP and Foreverkind here. As Cart still just keeps on moving through. The question is, who's going to be touching the cart on the second half of the second point here? Especially when you're playing a Void Fiber Emray, or you're playing a Venture Emray into Tracer, as Dronify is going to be able to get the first pick here onto Void Fiber.
Yeah, great start there. Finding Void Fiber, taking out that kind of hard flank potential for him now. Real Dog can focus on this cart. Top field comes out here late, does the pulse bomb, find nothing but pay dirt, but still the numbers advantage here. Still have the cart in your possession, and fairly cheap exchange for your first fight victory. Oh, bomb force as well here from Carson.
Pulse coming out from Dronify as well is not going to be able to get the kill here. As now we have all other ultimates coming online for the side of the Voidlings, as we're seeing the Venture Void Fiber going in, trying to look for a pick. Not too many people sitting on the ground, though, as Void Fiber is not going to be able to find too much anything. But Cart is still going to move. Carson getting DMAC'd again into the backline. With Mines on the point, Bucket and Foreverkind are split from each other, trying to peel out. As Foreverkind falling down to 1 HP, Dronify looking for this lamp coming out for Bucket. As Taken Wall is going to be able to kill Dronify, as they're going to be able to stable this out for the cost of Void Fiber falling in the backline.
The peel for Bucket this map so far has been really good for either Taken Wall out there, Foreverkind a couple fights ago. They just do not want to let Bucket fall here, which is impressive. It's playing a bat piece in this ball comp. Very easy to kind of get on top of with the Retefia being forced, but they can't find the kill and force Bucket away. Also coming online here for a lot of squad here, but I'm looking at Taken Wall with the override protocol. Could open things up, but a nice over the right from Lincoln Nick will force the high ground positioning away, and Carson's in a tough spot by himself on the side.
So is now the orbital ray is going to be coming out. Emray coming out. We're trading Emray for Emray. Silvertal's Bucket and Lingading down. 2 flex supports. We're looking Dronify being able to kill Forever Kind, so there's no more supports for the side of the Voidlings, as Riddlebog is going to be able to clean up onto Taken, while his Void Fiber and Carson are going to be stuck at 1 HP sitting on the point, as Carson is not going to get staggered. So as we're seeing Mizuki come out from Lingading.
Silvertail stat padding wants the final blow for the stat sheet, but Riddle still hasn't died this map. That was Bucket's first death, however, so looking at the ult here, gonna have both portals ready to go for the Venus Voidlings. Probably going to use that Brigitte, use their rally when Real Dog looks for the initial gauge. It's up to Carson to really negate his Captain Sun to find that value. So a lot of immobile heroes on the side of the Venus Voidlings right now. So it could be a feast here for Silvertals if they're not ready. It looks like they are not ready and finds both supports instantly. Bucket's taken down, and that's a fight victory again for Rome Raccoon Dogs.
Yeah, I mean, we quickly saw a time bank of 5 minutes whittle down just to 2. And the only ultimates online here for the rest of the Roman Raccoon Dogs to be able to fully sustain this as Void Fiber is going to get staggered here. It is going to be these mines, I'm assuming, on this bridge next fight. But after that, you're walking into 4 ultimates here, so you got to make the most of this.
Yeah, you see Real Dog hitting a bit of parkour up on the top there, ready to turn this minefield on possibly this Brigitte. Once they see him coming across that bridge, it'll be tough to get Perfect Kinda and Bucket across. If they're not careful, here comes Real Dog from way over the top, looks for the big slam on the backline, finds 3 in the slam. Drone fight with a follow-up as well, forced recall. And Real Dog sends Takeout straight to the drink. And instead, they're going to opt in to use the rally here. It's down 2 already. Not sure about that one, because now Carson falling very weak. They're going to keep Carson in mech, but that's not all you're probably going to want back for a big engagement coming forward.
Yeah, trying to look for a stable here on these stairs. Little Bogging Yams with this stun. As that's going to be 3 ultimates invested into a lost fight for the cost of 0. As we just saw a very dominant chance here for the side of the Voidlings to be able to capture this, as now they're starting to lose their foothold on even just their ult advantage here, and with a minute just on the clock.
Yeah, it's looking really tough to even break this through now. You're going to have the tectonic shock, but there's just so many high ground different positions that currently the Raccoon Dogs are occupying. Void Fiber will not be able to find that solo target. You're going to walk into a minefield, into a pulse bomb, into an override protocol. It looks nigh impossible. Carson does not have enough defense matrix for all this stuff. And yeah, take them all down before Fight Ring breaks out with the minefield. Real Dog finds 2, and it's just curtains right now on Rialto point B.
Exactly, so Junbin being able to clean up very consistently here. As we're coming into the next Emre ults coming online versus each other, these are going to be make or break. You're having the Ilari Captive Sun almost 2 hits. Void Fiber is going to get staggered as now they're going to come back with just 15 seconds. Luckily for them, at least, the point did get to the bridge as we're looking for a fast engage here from Riddle Dog and Jonah Fried.
Drone's got this pulse bomb. He's hunting back here, looking for that target, trying to find that Emery is now in their sights, looking for this, open things up. Emery ult on top as well. Bucket your attack feels already taken care of. The drone pulse bomb doesn't find anything. Alter's down, so hold on. It's gonna be very doable here. Royal Dog though with another into the drink. Real Dog again is doing God's work on the wrecking ball.
The sun coming out is going to be eaten by Carson. Linkading also down. It's just going to be Solitals as the only support on the point. It is going to go down to 1 HP. Almost C90 here. Void Fiber is able to get this touch. So it's still 1 getting a nice little nade here from taking while is going to clean up as the cart's going to start moving shortly and surely.
Yeah, I was saying curtains, but we're still going here. The play is an Overwatch for an encore. The Venus Voidlings are still pushing forward. Now they have Taken Wallet with the Override Protocol, as well as Bucket's Window. If they can survive long 2, Perfect will have the rally. This could be a massive fumble win on point B for the Rome Raccoon Dogs if they're not careful here.
Exactly, you're seeing the window and the Override Protocol coming on top. Forever can has to keep touching. Oh my god, C9. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, okay.
They found Riddle, that's huge.
You're scaring me. Yeah, point was almost C9 though, very, very close to happening that. You're having Carson going in, 1 HP.
But they don't touch.
Still has his mines, and they are going to be able to get this cap after almost C9, and Carson's going to be able to live as well, and Linkading's going to fall to Void Fiber and take it all. It's going to clean up on Jonah Fried as well.
Ooh, that's a tough one to swallow if you are the Rome Raccoon Dogs. It's looking so good. Road Dog found those early picks to start things off, but it just came down to finding that opening pick, and then Carson eating that Captain Sun, and all just went downhill from there, or uphill if you are a Beast Voidlings player. So, you know, hey, look at everything glass half full kind of cast, but you're going to have Perfect Kinda's hold on the rally here the entire time as well. It's basically up to can Road Dog find another big value minefield, but okay, Void Fiber down early, Void Fiber breaks up, Void Fiber with the EU. Must have been gross. Unfortunately, the one pulse bomb we weren't spectating Donor Fry for.
Okay, so Carson is going to get demeched here, and the stagger is not going to happen, even though that would have been a map win. Now they're going to be able to come back for sure. As yes, they do have this, they have Diva Bomb, they have Rally to open up into Mizuki Cage, Mines, Emre. That seems very difficult to retake, but hey, they've done it once before. They're going to...
We just saw it a minute ago.
Potentially we'll see it again. Riddle Ball is going to be able to stay up on this rooftop again, and is going to go unscouted.
Nice minefield there. I say the sports entirely as Donor Fry is now starting to eat him in the back line. Bucket gets caught out.
Okay.
Oh, no. Maybe current day Poco. But
Maybe
Void
current
Fiber is still alive on the point with a tonic shock. And now that the rally on top of this as well. Overwatch from Altair as well as the 6 Sanctuary from Linkadink. There's just simply too much for one rally to overcome. And the point will stop here, it appears, at the doorway. Unless Takenwall's got an absolute god Override Protocol up his sleeve. It does not appear to be the case.
Yeah, unfortunately not, and it looks like it's just going to be Carson's trying to get these final touches of Everkin. Attempting to come back on the Lucio is just going to be shy about 80 meters or so. But, I mean, hey, if we looked at this map going into it, we saw very good dominance here for the Voidlings on the first point, but after that, it kind of just, like, kept falling in between, like, falling through the slots of their hands for both teams, and we just saw them having, like, a 4 ult advantage and just fumbling to fully secure the win on either side is now. But I mean, they set their win con after a very difficult and challenging second point, so we'll see how the attack of the Raccoon dogs are gonna come out here. So,
and yeah, like you said, is dominance on point A, and then you almost feel really good how you played on point B despite losing 5 minutes time. Basically, you capped at the end, and it got it basically to the end of point C, which is definitely not an easy task here in Rialto to get to. Interesting thing to point here is Void Fiber is currently 6-8. Do we see a swap off the Venture? Because I mean, what does Void Fiber get on in this composition to find a pick? It looks they're sticking on the Venture here, but maybe a little easier on the defense side. But we just see the offense like this entire series, it appears, especially on this map. Void Fiber has kind of been shut down a little bit, despite there not being like a hard counter on their side.
yeah, exactly. So it's just like, it's such a weird thing for somebody with the hero pool of Void Fiber, just what to play into this bulb dive, especially with the pokey backline. It's like, it's so hard to trade backlines because the ball is forever going to live. Because it's just inherently how the character is. But it's just like, it's just awkward because you want to play for the point fight, but you also end up playing in a Tracer most of the times. But now we're seeing the Widow Hanzo coming out, still on this Juno, maybe just a comfort pick here for Linkadink, but we'll see again coming out here.
Yeah, right back over to that Tracer, back over to that Emery here for the Rome Raccoon Dogs. The follow-up has just been immaculate with a real dog on these dives so far this entire series. And it hasn't slowed down at all on Rialto. Sotas has lost the pylon early though, so the positioning is a bit awkward here now for Rome Raccoon Dogs. But Forever can have caught on the stairs! We need life alert, they fell and they can't get up. Now Void Fiber trying to do anything on this point, but it looks to be just a closed case here for his first fight already.
Exactly. So, I mean, we saw this coming out for the side of the Venus Voidlings first point as well. Well, they're just able to get a nice little first pick here. So, we'll see if the Roman Raccoon Dogs are going to be fully able to capitalize on this time bank on second, as these Saggers are so instrumental. And it's just going to be so hard to come back into the first point here.
And that's A. I don't know what else to say there. Voidfire might get a touch here on the Venture at the end, but I mean, Real Dog is going to start spawn camping this casting the Brigitte here on the other side. The Immortality field is protecting the people on the boats, it appears, for Bucket. They've lost Bucket on the back end. They've just cleared Voidfire off the cart. It looks to be point A being captured. Real Dog comes back for the assist to try to help out, as Carson's still putting up some work on this point. But yeah, it looks to be just about over. And point A will go the way of Roman Raccoon Dogs in a pretty equally impressive time bank here than the Beast Voidlings had.
Exactly. So the only thing we need to talk about now is that the ult advantage here going in is definitely on the side of the Raccoon Dogs, coming onto this Emre already very quickly for nothing as close to the side of the Voidlings, and we'll just see how fast. I mean, Pulse coming out is not unfortunately going to be able to find anything. We're just going to be looking for this Emre to be able to advance and keep this time bank up.
Oh my
as
God,
Carson's going to find this first pick on a Riddle Dog.
They finally killed him. I mean, you've lost taking them all up, but Voidfire going in, finding another on the drone to fry. There's really nothing to take the space back from the Beast Voidlings on the side ground right now. You're going to opt in to take a nice slow approach for the Rome Raccoon Dogs, wait for Real Dog to return. You're going to have the minefield. You're going to have the override protocol. It's very equal for the ults for both sides, though, so it could be a very chaotic fight here at the beginning as Voidfire getting caught out early. Carson's there for the peel, though. But Carson, 1 HP, need to help this Diva.
Exactly. So, I mean, we can see High Noon for the Emre here. Venture ult for the mines. This Bullet Fight is going to be on the first pick here on the Silver Talls. We're still in ulting to invest this Emre ult. is going to be shut down, as shortly after is going to be Lincoln as well. And it's just Junbin himself stuck in. Void Fiber falling down to 1 HP though. But Shaken Wallet being able to find this pick on a drone fight is Riddlebin is going to be able to get out. But that costed them an ult. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely visible why Carson's Diva was banned on point on the first map. It is doing God's work on these ultimates. That DM of the entire Altair ultimate, as well as getting the picks, and of course that eat on their attack side. Definitely back on the comfort here for Venus Voidlings, and now 3 minutes left in the time bank. It is very doable here still for Raccoon, but White Fiber is going in very deep into a Widowmaker sightline with the Tectonic Shock online. Does he get punished? No, does not. In fact, finds a pick on Silver Tiles and gets out scot-free from the cookie jar. Excuse me, someone to just shut this venture down. He's in the backline too, looking at Altair, and finds the pick. Lincoln didn't get the back one, but
You had one word to explain that fight, I would say Thanos personally, but
yeah, that might be
taking Wallet, being able to kill Dronafy coming in. And you just invest 2 ults for the mines, and you have Altair swapping back to cast to prevent this Void Fiber. Void Fiber is going to be is equally matching this pressure that Riddle Dog has been having onto the backline. And especially coming in, you still have the High Noon, you still have both support ults for just the Captive Sun, which can be DM'd in the Orbit Ray, which might be able to be sustained through. It's going to be hard here for the Roman Raccoon Dogs if the Voidlings are able to go first.
Drone's got pulse though. Lugs it down. Ooh, doesn't find any. Void Fiber's already down early. It's a 1-point exchange though. Fight's still going chaos on point with the Orbit Ray online.
Overkin falling on 1 HP, taking Wallet, investing this High Noon, being able to kill Lincoln. But you do have Carson DMech though. It's just going to be hard to hold this second point. You just need to back up to the final steps, as you're seeing Altair walking up with Silver Tails. Altair falling down to 1 HP. Riddle Dog still have. Is that me? Captive Sun coming out, is going to hit 3 in the backline, looking for Ignition. Is going to find 1 on the map, looking for another. He's going to find 1 on the Taken Wallet. Carson's going to be able to get this remake with this rally, and Void Fiber trying to stable him, as Carson's going to have to do wonders here to win this point here. Silver Tiles, that's 1. Looking for a second for Carson, but unfortunately it's just so hard in a 1v4.
Yeah, very tough. Void Fiber's there for the contest last second here. We'll get a couple more seconds off this clock, but I mean, I would have loved to see that Riley invested a little earlier there from Forever Kinda, because it was looking like a suitable, winnable fight through, and the fights are going kind of back and forth here. The Pulse doesn't find anything. I would have popped Riley right there and fought it with a Diva on towards the point. But now going his last point here, Lincoln will swap off the Juno over on towards Lucio. Drone is sticking on to this Genji.
Ori instead of the
Diva, I don't know about that one at all.
I don't know if I don't really enjoy this personally, but who knows, I might be saying corrected. As Riddle Dog with these mines, if the cart is allowed to progress so far, it's gonna be so hard to come back, as Riddle Dog's gonna look on the backline of mines. The High Noon being able to opt to open up all the space here is not going to find anything. His Void Fiber is gonna get messed up in the backline due to Riddle Dog.
Oh.
Mines on point, and Carson's gonna be the first to fall, and we need to look for a touch. Hurricane, Void Fiber 1 HP, and unfortunately that is, or fortunately or unfortunately, whatever fan you're looking for here, that is going to be the Raccoon Dogs taking the second map here, going into match point.
It was looking doable there for the Voice Voidling towards the end, but all just fell apart that last fight. And when Storytells hit this 3K with this Captive Sun, you knew it probably was going to be over. See on the, in fact, another play from them after this, the first Captive Sun, finding multiple picks here at the end, but yeah, now up 2-0, the Rome Raccoon Dogs are looking very strong, looking to take home a sweep here once again, be their second straight one, I believe. So looking strong in this group, looking for a big push towards the first group in our third stage, and now that these Voidlings, the biggest hill is in front of you to climb that you've probably seen the entire season. That's probably the best team you've faced. And this is the big test that you've had, so
Exactly so. But before we do see the finale of this aftermath, we will be going to a short break, so please stay tuned, folks, as map 3 will be coming out shortly. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Aurora Overwatch Clash. As we were going into Nambani, but we'll be going back to a little scene. But for those of you, map is Nambani here, picked by the Roman Raccoon dogs as the Voidlings decided to pick first ban. And once we saw that, I think everybody knows what the bans are going to be, and it was going to be Ball and Venture here. So, going into Nambani, neither team has their highest SR player on their best role. I don't know if Riddle's their highest SR player, but like
not by a long
player.
shot.
Their carry player, I would say, on their net.
I think Riddle is the fourth highest on
the
that
fourth.
lineup. Yeah, because Sotel's Alter, both GM, Dronify, I think is 3,400. Real Dog is like 33. So I think he's just.
That is Jun Bin. That is Jun Bin right there.
He just skirts out of the top 4 in this lineup.
Wait, that is actually shocking. Okay, but we are gonna go to a Divamir here. The fire is coming out from the Void Fiber. They are on attack though, so it could be swapped. As we're seeing Emre here, Tracer here, on it for Silvertals. Makes perfect sense with Linkedin going on to this Lucio. I prefer the Juno here, personally with a Diva. At least it's gonna be hard to get this Lucio value, but if Void Fiber stays on this far, I mean, this is gonna be a sight to see.
In fact, I'm bored. I don't know what Real Dog is actually. He's 36. Okay, he's 36. He was 34 last season. I'm mistaken for last season. But still, the value. He's still 3,600.
Yes.
Is still way under.
Are we staying on Sim? We're playing Sim Mizuki.
Sim Mizuki Vendetta. Sure.
We will not let this Diva play the game. This Diva will not play the game. As we do seem to rotate low ground. TP comes out a little bit early here. Is going to be broken immediately. So now we're going to be stuck waiting and wanting for more. Riddle Dog being able to fly onto Carson here on the top. Nothing's going to matter. Void Fiber going in, looking for the DM, and is going to clear off the entirety of high ground. As Riddle Dog is in by himself now. Void Fiber 1 HP. As Carson's also stuck in, going to be able to stable out. As now there's nobody left on the high grounds.
Yeah, Void Fiber's still up there, commanding it with just, I guess, Aura alone. Does get booped off here by Linkadink still, but Revan has already 50% of his nano boost. They're putting in some work right now, and a free tick garnered here for the BS Boy. This could be another early point A capture for him. But we'll see, as nobody's falling for either side. Just a very slow approach. Could come down to one big A, and if he's honest, to bring it back. I mean, but they could just not touch. Okay, there you go.
The Raccoon dogs are being able to keep those pressure. Carson never being able to go over half HP. Is falling on 1 HP. Is that straight? He's going to come out on the Riddle first. Both tanks are going to be DMAC. Foreverkin is going to fall down shortly after. Void Fiber looking to fall down next, and it's actually the Raccoon dogs pulling this through. With Riddle Dog 1 HP. Riddle Dog 1 HP.
Silvertals. And now Raz getting staggered here as well. Yeah, the stagger there is not the best. You do get nano first, though, so you can take that to the bank. I mean, you're going to have it when the fight breaks out, but doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Now, I don't know about Vendetta pick. We've seen how tough Vendetta has been since the nerfs, especially now. You know, Vendetta always kind of came online when he got both perks, when she was just absolutely unkittable. Now those nerfs to the perks, she is pre-perk Vendetta the entire time. So, I mean, it's going to be tough for Void Fiber to just get in and get out and find a pick or two because of the DM from Real Dog, because of the ability to survive from Altair, and Sortals with another sleep. Oh, but the purple from Raz is massive!
And that is going to hopefully let Carson and Void Fiber clean up, as the trades are 2 for 2 here. But you don't have any more supports for the Raccoon Dogs as you're capping the point 97, 98, 99, and that is going to be a cap here for the side of the Voidlings with just a nano for nano trade. I mean, we'll take that, right?
Carson cannot lose mech here, though. Carson lost mech here, though. Doesn't bound to get back, but Real Dog now the big advantage here for his next fight, for his next engagement. You're going to have Alter with the Override Protocol on the corner. Can Fervakinda and Void Fiber poke enough for an ultimate here before the fight really breaks out? Bucket might be a hero, 8% away from the Sanctuary, which could negate Alter's ultimate. Never mind, sorry, too late. Oh, shot at tree.
That was a big Emery ult here, especially on the defending side. He is not going to get the value you're hoping for. Potentially Foreverkin falling under my speed, but unfortunately not going to get another right click coming out here. Card is still moving. Foreverkin barely going to be able to get out of their lives from the Droneified pressure here on this Tracer in the little room. As the cart keeps on moving, as you still have a cage here that you didn't use for the ult. You're seeing the dead ult coming up top. Are we going to be able to sleep dart?
Nope.
And is not going to find anything. Real Dog is going to be able to get the first pick here on a bucket, but is going to get traded out for the Altair. Carson flying in. Silvertall's 1 HP, and Silvertall's going to clean up on Void Fiber.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Void Fiber. Goes in, gets anted up, gets hit with the overhead slice, but just survives. Silvertall through it all with the grenade. Droneified is 1 HP though. Might get caught out without recall here, trying to get this mini, but right now Real Dog trying to hit the peel of a lifetime with the DM. Might get punched for it here actually. The Real Dog is going way too deep. Will get out of Piers with the DM and with the mech still intact. And now the nano and the beat on Real Dog. He is an absolute one-man wrecking crew right now.
Exactly so. Being able to get 2, 3, looking for a 4th one for Blood. Droneified is going to be able to get number 4. As Carson is going to get staggered here, forcing the bomb. I mean, it's forced. It's forced.
I know, but... Oh, I'd love to hold on, because Real Dog still hold down to their first. They haven't been forced out just yet. Rabbit says does have nano, so it could go deep with Carson with this one.
Yeah, I mean,
it's up to Divas here. This fight's the Divas. The nano, Nano Carson or Real Dog with the bomb.
Fuck, it's gonna be the first to fall. Real Dog is stuck in there with no fly though, has no DM, looking for maybe a trade here, getting this out. Dead being able to Void Piper, fighting the Void Piper. Riddle Dog 1 HP, looking for this D-Mech, and is not going to come through and gonna be able to keep this bomb for a little bit longer.
Silvertall has been forced to the low ground, however, so this could be an opportunity if Void Piper and Carson sees to finally deal with Ana. Oh, but they just find the sleep dart at the other end of it. Carson's still hunting, but Silvertall is hitting the moves, but does not quite have it all to get away from the fight entirely. Really going very deep in the back line here. Is the peel there to keep Foreverkin alive? Look, it is, and now Riddle might get punished.
I mean, Carson being able to go inside is going to be falling down shortly after the Riddle versus Riddle matchup here. Is Void Piper being able to stable, but Cart is still moving for the side of the Venus Voidlings. Riddle Dog being able to come back in, trying to find this bigger, and then nice nade here from Altair being able to kill up Carson. As Riddle Dog or Void Piper is stuck in the back line, and Linkadink is going to be able to clean up. Minute on the clock here. You do have your dead ult, you're close to your bomb, you're close to your rally. You're walking into an Emery, you're walking into a Nano, you're walking into a beat.
Yeah, a lot of these late stack kills as well, making for sure this is last fight territory, and you're gonna walk into 5 ults. It's gonna be really difficult here unless Void Fiber finds a miracle pick with the Sundering Blade, or if Bucket can sustain through at least 2 of these with that rally. This looks like this might just be the cart ends here on Ambani for the Venus Voidlings, and if Foreverkin swaps the May here for the last fight, maybe just make it a little more brawly on the point in particular, force the fight on the cart on Lugger where you want it. But they're still going with a nano override protocol. It's gonna be tough to lift this one through. And yeah, both sports just evaporate the second that shot hits the ground. Hey, one for stat sheet.
I mean, I guess they set their win con. Diva Bomb coming out. Carson looking for a little extra meterage. The beat coming in a little bit late to the Diva Bomb though, unfortunately. I mean.
And yeah, that'll do that.
Yeah, I honestly just think I need to see the Voidlings just play a 5-man int comp onto the backline. Like, I think we're peeling for this Riddle Dog too much to where he's just able to still play stable. He's just playing good Overwatch, all I can say. But there's no quick 5.
Well, the worst part about this is you're peeling everybody for Real Dog, and Riddle has 0 deaths. So what are you doing? Like, what are you actually doing?
I mean, yeah, Riddle Dog's playing actually pretty good Diva right now, to where he's just going in, attracting attention, and just living. This is like what we call a fat tracer, right? I mean, it's just perfectly what a tracer would do, but it's quote, I'm bleeding a lot. Unfortunately, somebody on the side of the Voidlings is injured. Maybe it's Forever. Oh, cut their finger. How? Anyways, I mean, the issue here is that when we saw Void Fiber and Carson go onto the backline of the Roman Raccoon Dogs, they mostly won the fights. When we saw a trade in the backline, we saw winning fights, but when we full peel, we saw losing fights. I'm noticing something. All I can say. I don't know what it is, but maybe
I,
you can help me out.
I will also say this. I'm trying to think back in time. Has there ever been an injury report for Aurora Esports? I don't know if there's ever been an injury report for Aurora Esports. But Forever Kinda, I'm trying to think, like, what did you say for the NFL? Forever Kinda finger, probable to return. You know, something like that. But yeah, coming back into this actual game now, we're seeing now that Void Fiber might be back to one trick status because of how bad Vendetta currently is right now. So we might be coming back to the you ban Vendetta or ban Venture, you might win. We'll see. They could easily hold here on point A of Nimbani. It is Nimbani after all. I don't like the chances if it gets to point B. It's a very tough to do a full hold on. See a lot of teams kind of just bulldoze through point B. Where points is kind of where you make your bacon, I suppose, on your defense. But maybe we'll see a completely new look from the defense point. Maybe the Forever Kinda's injury will push him forward. You know, maybe they'll fight for the little brother downstairs who's injured or something. I don't know. It's not good. And Forever Kinda instantly has a finger energy, forced to play Junkrat. Yeah, Kinda is on IR. So
well, I think the real question for tonight, actually, though, is when will Aurora Esports get their own set of lawyers for this happening again?
This might be. We might lose like the 3 Twitch Prime subs I gifted yesterday. We might lose all that. All that revenue is gone. Forever Kinda's gonna milk us dry for everything we have, which is probably like $10 in a pocket lint at this point after 13 seasons. But I'm guessing that they'll probably see the Junkrat Vendetta and think, hey, what if we went Farah? Yeah, Mauga. I don't know if we've actually seen a real dog Mauga, at least not very often. So probably just a TP up on the high ground, and yeah, looks like they're playing for that TP up on the high ground where sports usually play. And they're going to give him a big crunch.
Buffs. Yeah, we're just looking for a 5-man TP. It's just going to be detrimental. We need to make sure Raz and Bucket don't get blown up here. Raz is opting to drop early. Raz is going to be able to get the pick onto Linkadink as now the pressure's out. Nade coming out from Silvertop isn't going to hit me. But
what a nade!
Raz is going to clean up on 2. As it's just going to be Riddle Dog and Jonafried being able to stuck behind. Carson falling down to 1 HP might possibly get traded here. Riddle Dog looking for this pin is not going to find anything. No shout, no pin, and anti, and that's going to be clean up. I mean, hey, that was the first minute. That didn't look too bad.
Yeah, that was the first minute. I assume swaps are coming through. Yeah, these swaps are coming through. We've seen this play from the Raccoon dogs almost every time on Nimbani, where they TP into that room and they put Silvertail's main with the Onanade and hits him on the rotate. But it did not work that time. It appears the Voidlings have done their homework and did not allow that TP to come through. They rotate perfectly around the map. Did not allow the sides to come through from the TP. Oh, but what a sleep from Silvertail's mid-dash on Void Fiber in the sky. Doesn't get the punish for it after all, and now Rose getting antied up, but it still looked really cool. I swear, guys, it looked really cool. And Void Fiber kills him anyway.
I mean, hey, that's all you need. First stick is coming out here for the side of the Roman Raccoon Dogs. As they're going to be able to clean up on Forever Kin, clean up on Void Fiber. Carson stuck in by themselves. This is going to get the DMAC, though, actually. And the peel coming out for the Tracer and the Lucio in the backline. Carson's going to be able to live, and that's actually going to be the Voidlings. Oh, Raz the nades. Oh, the fight is still going on. It is not over. Carson being able to clean up onto Riddle Dog. Bucket split by himself. And it's just Carson against the world here, waiting for Void Fiber and Forever Kin to come back. They're going to have to give up a second tip here. Carson falling down to 1 HP is getting messed up by Jonafried, forcing the bomb going back to high ground. And
what?
The pulse bomb? Jonafried? Question mark?
Oh, what? Also got Nano, though. So it's still very winnable here.
Carson DMAC.
And
Altair clean up.
Despite Dronify's best efforts, it appears that the Room Raccoon Dogs have 1.8.
That was a fever dream, if anybody could say. But yeah, I mean, we're going into point B now. 4 minutes on the clock. This is going to be a miracle. It's gonna have to see a miracle to get this one cleaned out here for the side of the Voidlings.
You throw the Nano onto Carson here to get the point, and just you gotta stall his cart at the corner as long as possible can here, like the Roam Raccoon Dogs. That's where they held you. You gotta do the same. You cannot allow Ramataz and Bucket to lose his high ground positioning. But Altair, a big nade on the back line, finds 3, gets past Carson's defense matrix, and now can Altair find anything over protocol? That's gonna be both sports already down, and it is not looking good. Hey, we forced bomb.
Wait.
Big win. No,
The remake kill. Alrighty. I mean, hey, we just didn't go with an ultimate. They used 2, so cheers.
They're gonna sleep Void Fiber. Calling it now. You can't touch. Oh, missed.
Nana coming out on the Void Fiber looking for anything. Riddleblock being able to clean up on the Razmataz, forcing the rally now as there's no other supports, and maybe a little premature. But no ultimates online for the side of the Raccoon Dogs to be able to do anything. Void Fiber is still in on this angle, coming back to his team to Sable. As Riddledog will be slowly pushing in now, Jonafried on the angle. Bucket falling down to 1 HP, still doesn't have Raz the Stable. Void Fiber ripping this ult, looking for a nice pick on the backline. The beat doesn't do anything, by the way, and Silver Talls is going to get cut by the Detta ult that pierces through D.
Carson bomb? Nothing.
Is that Poco? Nope. Detta fighting, we have Void Fiber fighting Riddledog here in this small little room is not going to be enough, but Riddledog has no armor. Carson having to stay on this point as Altair is going to clean up on Raz, and it's just going to be Carson and Forever Kin coming back, bucket on the Lucio, and we are seeing the lights flicker, as that's going to be that. Oh, okay, that's
that's gonna be
the Roman Raccoon Dogs winning this game 3-0.
Yeah, a fairly dominant win for him there. After how close Antarctic Peninsula looked, to thought maybe they were gonna have a nice fighting chance here to beat Voidlings, but Nambani really no contest, and this Rialto was kind of close at points, but yeah, once we got here, it looked to be just about over. So yeah, Rome Raccoon is looking really strong now. I believe undefeated in this stage. I could be mistaken, but looking to move up probably in that first group for stage 3, which means they've locked themselves in a playoff spot and are on the up and up.
Really, and now it's the time of the night actually where we have to talk about who's going to get MVP.
Oh, they lost the Astronauts. I forgot they got reversed up the Astronauts. Yeah, they have been undefeated in maps and in games since then. How's that, chat?
But yeah, I mean, it's that time of the night. We get to pick who is the hero. And who do you have your sights set on so far?
I mean, it's always really easy to say Real Dog, but he gets it like every week. So honestly,
Silvertal's auto Kano.
I was gonna say Silvertal's would have been my second pick.
I think we could give it to Silvertal's. I think that's what I'm leaning towards. The Ana on Antarctic as well, being able to get these flanks and nades was just so full of pressure.
Yeah, we can go ahead and award it over to Silvertal's and bring them in for a quick MVP interview. So hold on.
Oh, hello, Silvertal's. Congratulations on your 3-0 win versus the Venus Voidlings and getting MVP.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I mean, you guys came in, got a pretty slick little 3-0 there. But I want to talk about map 1. I know that Real Dog the entire week was really hyped about Antarctic Peninsula coming back, and you guys almost lose that one. Apparently, you guys didn't scrim enough to realize that the middle point at point and sub level freezes you, because I saw Real Dog get caught in it, I think twice. Dongwagger got caught in it.
I did see Dongwagger get caught in it. That was pretty funny.
So what was like the original plan going at Antarctic Peninsula, almost losing that one out and kind of bringing it back to the rest of the series? So yeah, was Antarctic the way to go the entire week? Did you guys scrim it a lot? What were the set strats? Give us the insight on that.
We scrimmed it once yesterday, and basically since our whole team, we love to play ball comp, and not a lot of people. I think the maps are at least the indoor one is very different from what it used to be, and I think there's a lot more open angles, so it's a lot easier for me to look for nades, a lot more easier, and people just don't know the map, so I think it's a lot. Our comp, we are very roaming just around the whole map, and teams just don't know the layout of the maps yet, so we just kind of took advantage of that, of just like the unfamiliarity of the map to our advantage.
Yeah, I can completely agree with that. Now, the real question is, I was seeing you flank on these Anas on these Antarctic Peninsula to the point where you're in the backline and you got a nice little 4K there, I think, on the underground sub map. Is this just like who leads the comms for these angles being taken by your team?
I kind of just walk around the map and then hope I can see the enemy team, and then usually a Riddle Dog will already be set up in the position where they can hit on somebody. So then I kind of just say I can look for a nade here, and the Riddle Dog's like okay, and then we're able to collapse on them with that with the nade with either with either Dong Waggler on Pharah or Jonah on like Tracer. Usually they're really good at following up on our hits.
Yeah, and I think I'll leave El Clasico there for you, Wind, because I think I have something else I wanted to ask. Yeah, so I wanted to ask about your kind of team's bounce back here so far this stage. You know, you guys suffered that reverse sweep at the Astronauts, but since then you have not dropped a single map. So I guess who has kind of stepped up as a the team leader to kind of bring it back from that one? Because I heard that there was a decent mental boomage after that the reverse sweep game, but you brought it back, and now you're on a sort of a golden stage from there.
I think we just realized like no more trolling, no more messing around. I think we kind of decided that as a team to just try to come together, just lock in on the comps that we are really good at and try not to like do too much, which is definitely what happened that one game. So I think we're gonna really just be sticking to what we are really good at, which is gonna be like ball and some other little comps that we might have. We have some stuff that we've been kind of working on a little bit that we might see one day, but yeah, we're gonna mostly just be sticking to what we're good at. I don't think we're gonna branch too much anymore. I think it's more of a whole team thing that we
No more
realize what we need to
creativity.
do. No more.
No more joy and whimsy.
No, we can't be doing that. I could play Ana, so I have joy and whimsy.
Fair enough. Now I'm gonna ask you the question that you probably hear a million of times for every other stream. So, if you were not to be the one to get MVP this match, who would you give it to on your team and why?
I want to shout out. I want to give it to Linkadink. I low key think he has been really improving a lot throughout the season, and it's been really impressive. I think he's been doing a really good job on like playing Lucio and playing Juno and playing these other supports with me, and I think he's really improved a lot throughout the season.
I think that's
Perfect.
a great shout out. And yeah, congratulations again on the 3-0. And I believe you guys have one more game left the stage, so best luck to you in that one, and hopefully we'll see you in those upper ranks for stage 3.
All right, thank you very much.
That's gonna do for the interview there, Win. So unless you got something to say about this one, you can go ahead and send us out after a quick 3-0 for Raccoon Dogs. Once again, sort of on a warpath after losing out on that first game of their stage on the reverse sweep fashion. So I guess a quick update as well. There is 2 games tomorrow. The first 5 winners in Joe just got scheduled. That'll be tomorrow at 7. And then the Shibui Spectators and Lockton Lemurs is at 9 o'clock. That should be a really big game because I think that's the Lockton Lemurs sort of fighting for their playoff instant berth in the stage. So should be a good one. Make sure to check out Greg and Corey on the cast for that. So that's all my shilling done there, Wind. You can go ahead and give us your final words and send us home.
Alrighty, everybody, stay tuned. Yeah, as you heard, games coming in. We got the 2 tomorrow. We got 1 on Friday at 9 p.m. to stay tuned for. And then we have a 7 and 8 p.m. on this Saturday on the 18th. But other than that, folks, have a wonderful evening, and thank you for showing up for Aurora Esports, and stay tuned.